NASA published a collection of shocking images on its Tumblr page that reveal how much the face of our planet has changed. Called Images of Change, this collection compares Earth in then and now photos to help us understand the world, improve lives and safeguard the future. The images cover several years of different landmarks and areas of the world. First set of images reveal how the urban expansion in New Delhi, India has changed part of the Earth's surface, which is compared between 1991 and 2016. Over the past 25 years, India's capital has experienced a boom in population, as it grew from 9.4 million to 25 million in a quarter of a century. It is home to more people than Australia, and is the second most populated city in the world after Tokyo, Japan. However, this has resulted in a lack of basic services, such as schools, healthcare, housing, water and sanitation and jobs for those living in New Delhi. And officials say the city is not developing fast enough to accommodate a rising population. Utah's Great Salt Lake is the remnant of Lake Bonneville, a Great Ice Age lake that rose dramatically from a small saline lake 30,000 years ago. Although NASA has only shared an image from 1985, the Great Lake ice cover has decreased by 70%, which has contributed to the shrinking area since 1973. Michigan has made efforts to combat the low levels, as companies and individuals wishing to make a large water withdrawal from one of the lake's streams or groundwater must first seek permission. From 2014 to 2016, the Greenland ice sheets have drastically begun melting every spring or early summer. Melt extent in Greenland was above average in 2016, ranking 10th highest in the 38-year satellite record. NASA's images show pots of meltwater forming on the sheets, which are darker areas that absorb more sunlight than ice. And surface melt increases sea levels when the water runs off into the ocean. Dramatic change of Lake Urmia, Iran. In 2016, Iran witnessed Lake Urmia change from stunning green to blood red between April and July as a result of organisms living in the body of water. Data from NASA satellites indicate that the lake has lost about 70% of its surface area over the last 14 years. Owens Lake, which is about 130 miles north of Los Angeles, California, sits between the Sierra Nevada and the Inyo Mountains. In the early 20th century, the lower Owens Lake, which fed the lake, was largely diverted to the Los Angeles Aqueduct. And toxic chemicals and dust contaminated the regional environment and disturbed the bird habitat. In addition to adverse health effects on local residents, dust from Owens Lake has been linked to reductions of visibility in nearby national parks, forests, and wilderness areas. Recently, the city of Los Angeles has undertaken efforts to control dust evolution from the lake bed. The effects of deforestation on the Earth are massive. Deforestation's impact on climate change has piqued NASA's interest in documenting its progress across the globe. The darker green areas in the 1976 photo represent the natural landscape of savanna and Sahelian vegetation, Babin Rafi Forest, which is the most significant area of woodlands in the Maradi department of Niger. The 2007 photo, it is clear that these areas were greatly reduced, which was mainly due to the population quadrupling in the area. The series of photos also reveals the extremes of water flow in the Colorado River from 1985 to 2007. It is 1,400 miles long and starts in the Rocky Mountains and empties in the Gulf of Mexico. The 1985 image was taken in the midst of record high flow, while the 2007 image shows the driest period. NASA says it is excessive rains or severe drought that contributes to the change in the amount of water sitting in the Colorado River basin. These of images in the collection show of Jordan, which Helheim Glacier in Greenland has collapsed into large and small glaciers from 2001 to 2005. From the 1970s to around 2001, the glacier outlet was able to keep itself together. However, it started to pull back towards its source about 4/7 miles until 2005. In 2016, Bolivia discovered that its second largest lake, Lake Poopó, had dried up again. For 3 years, the lake experienced a drought and residents draining water from mining and agriculture. Prior to 2016, Lake Poopó had dried up in 1994, and it took several years for water to return, and even long for ecosystems to recover. The last images published on NASA's Tumblr are the flooding on the Ganges River in India. From 2015 to 2016, heavy monsoon rains have caused disastrous flooding along the Ganges and other rivers in eastern and central India. The natural hazard has killed more than 300 people and has affected more than 6 million, according to NASA. From rising sea levels to the changing availability of fresh water, we enable studies that unravel the complexities of our planet from the highest reaches of Earth's atmosphere to its core.